Welcome to a lesson with Dr. Powell. Let's talk about a theorem for continuous functions called the Intermediate Value Theorem. So what this theorem basically states is if we have a function which is continuous in a certain area or location, then if we were to draw three lines. Oh, that line's kind of funny. So three lines through the function. Okay, and let's suppose we take any interval where the function hits this one, and maybe where it hits the top line. So where it hits the lines on the top and the bottom, then we are guaranteed, since this is continuous, that somewhere in the middle, it will, somewhere in this interval between these two guys, the function will actually have to hit the middle line. I mean, it's a very intuitive idea, but yet we give it a name, the Intermediate Value Theorem. And we use it to explain different things. For instance, or to talk about different things. For instance, what if we're trying to estimate where the solution of an equation is? And we're just guessing and checking and plugging in values. So for instance, what if we wanted to do something like cosine of x, cosine of x minus x, or something like that. You want to say, okay, when is that? When is this equal to 0? And you're interested to know where that is. Well, all we have to do if we want to do this is we just kind of plug in we just start plugging in values around where we think it might be. In fact, we could even look at a graph. If we look at the graph of cosine and then we look at the graph of x, I mean, this is the same thing as looking at cosine x is equal to x. Okay, it looks like it's in between these two values right here. This value, so the x value right here is 0, and the x value right here would be pi halves. And we could start with 0 and pi halves. In fact, if you notice, if we plug in 0 into this, you end up getting 1 minus 0, so you end up getting 1. Notice that 1, so thinking of this guy as a function, we know at x and think of a line at 1. Okay, now if you plug in pi halves, you end up getting 0 minus pi halves. You actually have a line down here at minus pi halves. So this tells you as we go from 0 to pi 0 to pi halves, what happens is the function is right here, then in the end it's right here, which means that somewhere in the middle of those two, it must have crossed. So then what you can do is you can just guess another value, guess a value here and see where see it's positive. Okay, then guess a value over here and see that it's negative. If you guess a value and it's positive for that, then you have to go a little bit less. And if you keep on going back and forth a few times, you can actually narrow in on where the actual solution is. It's not really a very efficient way of going about it, but it still is a thoughtful way of going about it. And it's one use of a theorem called the Intermediate Value Theorem. So using the Intermediate Value Theorem, one can kind of get at and find the 0 value, or the solution, that is, of an equation. Thanks for watching.